Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are so excited you're here. I'm Nikki McCutchen. I will be your host for this evening. Just know that whoever invited you to call tonight must really care about you to want you to know about this technology. We truly are witnessing it just change lives every week, all the time. And it's just such a blessing to get to be a part of helping people with whatever their needs might be. So the call tonight will be for 30 minutes. For those who are new, we're basically going to focus on one amazing technology that activates and turns on, helps to support the body and its GHK copper peptide production. But just know that our technology inspires the body to do what it already does best, which is heal itself. It's our goal to help people opt out of the disease management system in our country and opt into a better way of helping the body be the best it can be and take care of business on its own rather than needing any help from drugs. So with that, we want to start with our medical disclaimer. All LifeWave products are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any dis-ease in the body. If you are pregnant or nursing or on medications, we always recommend that you check with your preferred healthcare practitioner first. So with that, we will get started explaining how this tiny little technology is so amazing and all of the wonderful things that it does in the body. So it is actually regulated. We're regulated under the FDA and recognized as a general wellness product. It's a class 1 medical device. It's completely non-transdermal. So what that means is there's nothing that's transferring from the center of this patch into your body. So it's actually sealed on both sides. So both sides are sealed with medical grade plastic and has a hypoallergenic adhesive. In the center of it is organic amino acids and salts or sugars, depending on which patch it is. It is at the stereoisomer level, it's a crystal lattice structure that's reflective like a mirror. Okay. And I'm going to explain that to you in a minute and how that actually works. So again, completely non-transdermal. So no chemicals, no drugs, there's no vitamins. So not like a nicotine patch, an estrogen patch, a vitamin patch, nothing like that. This is all working through light therapy. And I'm going to dive into that in a minute as well. But just know that this technology has a 96% effectiveness rate. So truly phenomenal. There is nothing else on the planet that can do what this technology does. To have a 96% effectiveness rate is truly phenomenal. So one of the things that we talk about with our technology is how it helps to support your body's stem cells. So we have this amazing product called Cellergize, and what it does is it helps to optimize the stem cells that are already in your body. So it also is fantastic for electrolytes. So a lot of people are low in magnesium and potassium, so it helps to support that and regulate that, bring that back into balance for people. A lot of people are low in copper, so this also has the proper zinc copper ratio for your body, as well as amino acids. So if you like to work out, you need electrolytes, you need amino acids. And so now there's a product where you can combine all of those things at once. So that 96% effectiveness rate, obviously there's 4% that we're missing. A lot of times those are people who are vegans. So this also has alanine in it, which is what you need in order for the body to work to help GHK copper peptide do what it already does in the body. So this is going to get the 4% of you where you need to be able to help support your body so you can have optimal use of the patches. But that will be across the board. So especially if you already use some of those other products, this is just a great addition. Everything that's in this is probably going to cost around $250 if you were to go out and buy those things individually. And a lot of people do, they may buy electrolytes together and amino acids together and even see buckthorn by itself as well, which is what optimizes the stem cells. And so this is all here, all in one product, and you can get it as little as $50. So it's a very, very high quality product that's going to help the optimization of our technology. So what happens, what we're talking about with this technology, the only comparison, okay, if I'm going to compare this to something, because really there's nothing that compares to it, but if I'm going to compare it to something for you, so you kind of understand the value of what you're getting is a stem cell injection. So that's the only thing that even comes close to comparison would be an actual stem cell injection. A lot of times those are very, very expensive. You might have to have multiple rounds and they don't always work. I did talk to someone today who has had very successful results. She only had to have one stem cell injection in her knee. They used PRP and then, so it was spinning her own blood and putting it back into her knee. She only needed one, which is fantastic. But, and it's been 7 years, which is also fantastic. And hopefully, that'll, she won't ever need them again. The thing is that she continues to play soccer. So she's continuing to run, be hard on her knees. So if you can have something not only to support your own body's ability to get its own stem cells up and going again, as well as you spent you've spent money on getting an injection, which you've been very happy with, but obviously you don't want to have to do that again. So if you use this technology, even in combination with a stem cell injection, it then will allow your body to keep creating and optimizing those stem cells that are no longer working properly in your body. So by the time we're 30, half of our stem cells are no longer working optimally. By the time we're 60, we only have 10% that are any longer working optimally in our body. So you can see between 30 and 60, that's when all aches, pains, illness, disease, all these things kind of set in. It's because our stem cells are no longer working properly. So if there is a technology that's completely non-invasive, super easy, pennies on the dollar in comparison to an injection, why wouldn't you use it? Why wouldn't you go for something like that to help your own human GHK copper peptide work the way that it was already designed to work in the body? That's what's truly amazing. And then here's the other thing is that it's not just, GHK copper peptide doesn't just turn on and help optimize stem cells that are already there. It resets 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. So if you have some type of gene mutation in your DNA, and it's one of those 4,000, and you haven't had anything necessarily happen yet, then maybe it will never even happen. That won't ever come about for you because you're truly resetting your body to a younger, healthier state. So let's dive into, I also need to tell you, it's completely patented. We have over 200 patents. There's over 90 clinical studies. So you're talking about a very scientifically backed technology from many, many different types of studies and clinical studies, and just from all angles, just very scientifically backed. There's not a whole lot of products out there that can have that kind of numerous amount of studies and patents that are going into the technology that this company is offering you, which is truly amazing. So let's talk about photobiomodulation. That is just a big word for light making change in the body. You all actually already know what this is because every time you step out into the sun and the sun hits your skin and your eyes, it tells your body to make vitamin D. And then that vitamin D goes and does what it was already designed to do in the body. Your body uses it as it needs. And it's human, okay? It's your own human vitamin D going and doing all the things that it does. There's probably things that it does that we don't even know yet, or even things that the sun is causing our body to do that we don't even scientifically know all the details about that, because it's your body using it the way it was designed. There is nothing more significant or better that you can do for yourself than optimize what your body is already able to do. So there's no, nothing you can take exogenously or inject that will be superior to your own body working optimally. So that is huge. So how does this work then? It works through that photobiomodulation, but it's your body that is giving it the heat, is giving it the light, okay? So we don't need the sun because we have our body to do all of that. So how does that work? It works through, you're emitting a low-grade infrared light off of every part of your body. You may not have known this, but again, it's something that will be familiar to you, because when you watch a movie and they are looking through night vision goggles and they are talking about seeing a heat signature, whether it's an animal or a human, you see all these different colors. That is technically, scientifically, a low-grade infrared light. That infrared light reflects back off the center of this patch like a mirror coming back into the body at a very specific frequency. So that crystal lattice structure that is inside there is they're made in a very specific way to turn on a very specific frequency that is relevant to GHK copper peptide. So what happens is GHK copper peptide gets turned on, activated, and elevated. We see this in our studies. Within 24 hours, GHK copper peptide begins to mobilize in the body once we use this technology. That's going to continue and compound over time of using this technology. So we see it still being true at 7 days. We still see it being true at 30 days. They've even done studies that have been for over a year where that is also true, having a compounding effect on GHK copper peptide working in the body, doing it what it was already designed to do. So if you Google GHK copper peptide, or you go and pull up PubMed and you look it up, there is going to be a very long list of things that it actually supports. I'm only going to talk to you about 5. So just know if you want to dive in deeper to that, you can. You can also go to our website, which is patchtheway.com, PATCH, theway.com. Scroll down a little bit. You can click on the clinical studies. You can click the link right into PubMed that will take you about GHK. We even have a little link about GHK and how it was found over 50 years ago by Lauren Picard, and the 50 years of research that's already there based on GHK and what it does in the body. That's why we know there's already a very long list of things that it does. So the first thing I like to talk to people about is that it turns on the stem cells, which I mentioned that already. The second thing is your cardiovascular system. So your entire heart, your entire blood vessels, the lining of your blood vessels, everything in your cardiovascular system is going to be supported. A stem cell injection does not do that. Okay, so you're talking about thinking about all of the different supplements that you hear or you may even take to support your heart, to support your blood vessels and the lining of your blood vessels. So I see people's blood pressures come back into balance. That's a very common thing that happens with this technology because of the support that GHK copper peptide gives to the heart. The third thing is your brain. It also supports your brain. So brain fog will lift. That was all very true for me. At about 6 weeks, I really felt like my clarity was coming back. I wasn't repeating questions that I had asked my kids because I remembered asking the question, but I couldn't remember the answer. So that all lifted. I feel very, very clear now. So I've been using this technology for over 2 years now. I have not had any issues with clarity, or I really do feel like I was very good at remembering things, remembering conversations that I had. That was all a normal part of my life when I was younger. So having my brain be reset to that younger, healthier state makes me very, very happy. Instead of thinking, somebody's telling me about this conversation and I do not remember. I totally don't remember. So I'm just going to have to tell them, yes, whatever you're saying, because I don't remember. So I'm so thankful to have that back in my life. Energy came back as well. So 7 days in, my energy just came back. I was tired all the time. So if I would have only gotten those 2 things out of this technology, I was doing all kinds of other things, helping, trying to exercise and eat right and take all kinds of supplements. And that was not making, who knows, it was probably helping me to some extent with those things. But this technology, if I only got those 2 things out of this technology, I would never, never stop using it. It was such an incredible change. And I was so thankful to have it in my life. Okay, so we've got stem cells, cardiovascular, and brain health. Okay, then we also have collagen. So the collagen in our body actually declines at about the same rate that the stem cells do. So as people start to get wrinkles. So a lot of people only think collagen is for hair, skin, and nails. It's actually the glue that holds our body together. So the fascia, the ligaments, the tendons, the lining of the organs. Okay, so our collagen is everywhere in our bodies. It even makes up the meridian system. So the meridian systems are teeny tiny little spindles of collagen. That's what makes up the meridian system in our body. So collagen is so very important. And to have that, that takes a little bit longer to get up and going in your body. It really takes about 3 months. So giving your body the time that it needs to get that up and going. And then after that 3 months, then being able to see results. Do people see results in their skin sometimes very fast? Yes. they do. But I even noticed, like, a year and a half in, like I was having eyebrow hair start to grow again. Like, so I was having all these little hairs come up around my face. Sometimes that happens, faster for people. It really just kind of depends on their DNA, what's in their DNA, how their DNA is made up, and if they're going to get some of those types of results. But having that collagen, and that combination of the stem cells and the collagen working together to revitalize your body in across the board in every way, because these stem cells can go and become any cell your body needs for it to be. There are specific types of stem cells in the body, but there are also pluripotent stem cells, which is what GHK copper peptide turns back on in the body. So when it does that and it's working together with collagen, you can have some fantastic, amazing results with what this technology is going to do for you. So again, those long-term of consistent use of really pursuing health, and really, I mean, when you're thinking about it, there's nothing else easier. I mean, I work out every day. I try to eat health every day. Those things take time, energy, effort, focus, all that. This takes none of that. You just slap this puppy on and you go on about your day. That's it. And it turns on that peptide and your body works better, gives you more vitality, more balance, more homeostasis. I don't know, but for me, like, yes, please let me have something super easy that's going to support my body in that way. That makes me super excited. So we've got stem cells, cardiovascular system, brain, collagen, and immune system. Everyone wants their immune system to work properly. Nobody likes to get sick. Nobody likes to feel bad. Everyone wants that help and support for your immune system. So again, think of all of the list of supplements that you would take to support your immune system, to support your cardiovascular system, to support your brain. I mean, I got ginkgo biloba down in my cabinet. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff. Do I take it as regularly? No, because I forget, or I don't take time, or I don't figure it out. I can slap on one little patch and have all kinds of support for my brain. That's fantastic. Collagen and immune system. Everyone wants that kind of support across the board for their body. And the coolest thing is, I've talked to you about five. I've talked to you about 5 things. Go and look up all the other things that it supports in the body. I work with the DO that I introduced this technology to. He went through all the research. He was actually already researching GHK copper peptide, trying to figure out a way to bring it to his clients because of all the things, like that's why, because of all the things that I'm telling you. And so it helps people in so many ways. The problem was there was no clean source. He would look at, yes, are there GHK copper peptide injections? Yes, there are. But they have other things in them, and it's not human. It's not your own GHK copper peptide. And again, you're just getting it in one area. And I was listening to another doctor talk about that peptide in the body. It has a very quick half-life. It starts to dissipate in the body very, very quickly. So you're getting the elevation of this GHK copper peptide 12 hours every day. So you put this patch on for 12 hours. I put mine on in the morning when I get up. I take it off at night when I go to bed. And then the next day I put on a brand new patch, and I do that day after day. So I forgot to tell you the whole story about the doctor. So he's researching this. I introduced this to him and he's like, oh my goodness, Nikki. He's like, I feel like if I would not tell my clients about this, that it would be considered medical malpractice, because of the amount of stuff that GHK copper peptide does in the body. So just know that's coming from a medical doctor researching and trying to find a clean way to introduce GHK copper peptide to the body. Enter our technology. Turn on your own bodies, your own human GHK CU that God gave you, that God put there, that it was designed to do a very specific thing in the body. And so our scientist, inventor, founder, David Schmidt, studies the way that God does things. And so when you study that and then you promote that, and then that's how you design and develop things, amazing things can happen, which is why we get to see miracles every single day with this technology and people. And it's truly such a blessing to be a part of a company that supports our infinite design and what God already gave us. And so I am truly thankful to get to be able to introduce this to so many people and watch it just change people's lives across the board. So the other thing I always like to talk to people about is hydration. Hydration is key, not just for this technology. Okay. You need to understand that hydration is so important for our body. There are multiple aches, pains, illness, disease that are truly could be relieved with just hydration. People are just chronically dehydrated today. So even taking a great big gulp of water every 30 minutes, a couple gulps, and doing that throughout the day, and you will see how that sustains you and allows your body to be fully hydrated. And also, your people are afraid they're going to have to be running to the bathroom all the time. That just doesn't happen if you drink it in that way. If you don't just try to chug a bunch of water and then go on about your day, just drink a little bit every 30 minutes and just see how much different that will change for you. The other thing is that we need those high quality electrolytes. Okay, so that's just again for our cells to be able to talk to each other. That's the electrical conductivity in the cells. It's the hydration and the electrolytes that allow those cells to communicate to each other and for our bodies to be able to do what it was designed to do, which is heal itself. And so when you put those components together, you get all of those things that work, your body doing what it was designed to do. People always ask me, Nikki, how long do I have to wear this technology? Okay. I've already told you I've been wearing it for over 2 years. If I would have given up at a year and a half, my thyroid would not have regenerated. If I would have decided, okay, I don't want to pay for this anymore. I'm not sure if it's still doing anything for me. I'm just gonna stop. Nope. I will have this patch on my body until Jesus comes to get me. So and why? Because results continue to happen. Things in the body keep compounding. So it was at the 2-year mark, I went back in for a checkup and now come to find out, and I wasn't on any medications or anything like that. That's the other thing is that I'm not reactive to my health. I am pursuing optimal health. I am constantly investing in my health. That's just how I've chosen to live my life. And so I'm looking to constantly be able to optimize things. So my thyroid was just showing some signs of inflammation and not being super happy. And so I was just going to let the technology do what it was going to do. And it that's where it was working on my thyroid. 2 years in, my thyroid is now completely regenerated. So I don't know what it will do for you. I don't know what kind of help you need in your body. I just know that long term, this is what I see over time. People and the stories, y'all, the stories just continue to come of regeneration and things that happen. Truly miracles that happen. I've seen multiple heart conditions because GHK copper peptide is operating optimally in the body. Not be there anymore. I've seen new neural pathways in people's brains start to regrow. There are doctors out there that tell you that's not possible. So the body is amazing. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. And so when we support the way it was designed, anything is truly possible. So I would love to answer your questions, or if anybody has any stories for me, you can use the chat. You can come on and ask questions. So if there is anybody here, I know Deanna is new tonight. She just placed her order. Is there anybody else here that's new on the call tonight? Please put that in the chat. If you're brand new, just post your name in the chat. And then, yeah, you could ask a question in the chat. You can raise your hand. You can just unmute yourself and you can come on and ask a question. What can I help with tonight? Or do you have a story that you'd like to tell us? I can tell you a few little stories over the last couple of weeks. I patched someone back pain. That totally went away. Patched somebody who had elbow pain. That totally went away. So you can actually place this anywhere on your body that you want. If you have a spot of pain, just put it on that spot. And If it doesn't get it, reach out to whoever invited you to the call tonight, because we have some other things we can recommend that can help with that, because we do have technologies that can reduce or remove pain almost instantly. So, but yeah, a lot of times just the X39 by itself will do it. Pastor Ed, please come on.
I want to share a testimony. We were at a restaurant last weekend doing a network dinner. And on our way home, of course, we patch people inside there. But the most amazing thing is in our way home, one of my managers asked me that there was an employee that was in chronic pain. His back was at 10. I've never patched anybody with their pain at 10. He had just come back from his vacation from Italy and it wasn't severe pain. And so Vic said to me, "Why don't we patch him?" I said, "Okay." And I went to patch him, and immediately his pain went from 10 to 5 with one patch. We were using the
Wow.
Eon, and then I said, "You have anything else that's bothering you?" Because I could see that he was in discomfort. He goes, "Yeah, I haven't been able to move my fingers. I have both hands triggered." Imagine somebody that works in a restaurant that can't move and open their hands with two trigger fingers.
Wow.
Actually, almost all his fingers were like trigger fingers, so he just couldn't
Wow.
bend his finger down. So I put an ice wave tan on the inside of his palm of his hand and ice wave white on the top of it. And we didn't peel it. We just, I have him with his right hand hold it. He started moving his hands and he started closing it. He goes, "I haven't been able to do this in years." And I have the video that I'll share with you guys. It was
Awesome.
amazing, amazing testimony. And I just want to thank God that we have a technology now that we can have a fighting chance at life. So thank you,
Absolutely.
Nikki, for sharing it with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's quality of life, right? I mean, he's literally trying to work and just do his job and in unbelievable pain every day. So to be able to have an answer for people that's as easy as just putting on a little patch and going on about your day, not having to worry about any side effects, no contraindications, nothing like that. Just put on the patch and go on about your day. Truly, what a blessing. I'm so glad you got to share that with him, Pastor. That's amazing. Judy, did you have a question or something you wanted to share?
Yeah, I talked to my accountant last night because I'm late in filing my taxes this year. And
Uh-oh.
she was telling me uh, she's concerned because she thinks she has blood flow issues in her legs. They've tested her legs and said, no, she doesn't, but she's in a lot of pain in her legs. And I started talking about the technology and I'm going to send her some things. But is there anything in that case you would recommend?
Absolutely. So if you are obviously, if she just wants to start with the X39, that's perfect. Eventually, GHK copper peptide gets to everything. So it's really a matter of, how much, like, does she just want to start with the X39? Or I'm the kind of person that likes to hit everything with the kitchen sink. So let's hit
Me
it
too.
all as fast as we can, as quickly as we can, to see if we can get this to get some movement going on. So I would, and Vicki, please come on if you have suggestions. So I would start with the X39 on the base of her spine. Um, you can go ahead and place an Eon on the C7, which is the back of the neck, X39 on the base of the spine, and then the energy enhancer patches. So look up ST36. So S is in Sam, C is in Tom, 36 point acupuncture point. If you go on the outside of each knee and you kind of feel right there, there's going to be a place, it's about 4 finger widths down. That's kind of a little divot, like between that muscle and then your tibia bone. And you're going to place
Mhm.
the energy enhancer. So energy enhancer is white, right, tan, left. And see if she can get some of that flow back in into, better feeling like there's better blood flow, or if there's some kind of stagnation, because obviously the doctors were saying there was nothing there. So we don't know. We have no idea what's going on. The other thing she can do is before she places those energy enhancer there, she can actually just hold each one of them, one in each hand, and move them up each of her legs 3 times. So do one leg and then do the other leg 3 times, and then place them on those ST36 points. Or if she that's just a great point to move that energy. There's another point down closer to the ankles that's on the outside of the ankles. So, she wanted to try each different point to see if she liked one better than the other. The other option is that you can always also add 2 sets of energy enhancers. So, if she's trying to get it to go faster, she could wear energy enhancer. So here it's like 3 finger widths below. That's only 2, but sorry, 3 finger widths. So like right here where you can kind of see where my whatever they're called. I can't even think right now, but just put one of those right there. So white right, tan left on each one of her wrists, and then the ones on her below her knees. So Vicki, would you add anything else besides the energy enhancer, X39 and Eon? She could potentially even do just the X39 and the the energy enhancer, the X39 energy enhancer. But Eon's just, if there's a problem in the body, it means you have inflammation. So, and so that one turns on a peptide in your liver, that's what it does in the body. It reduces inflammation. So that's always, normally we start with X39, we add Eon, and then we add others from there. But based on it being some kind of flow issue, I would say energy enhancer. What do you got for us, Vicki?
She could always do the X39 and X49.
And where would you wear them?
Well, you could do the X39 on the back of the neck and the X49 on the tailbone to kind of get or under the belly button, wherever she feels like a difference, whichever one helps her more.
Yeah. Yes. Awesome. Any other questions? You're welcome.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Anything for this is just for me, because I know I came home from work and I already told you I'm older than dirt, and I just came home and all I wanted to do is go to sleep, but then I didn't want to miss this. But is there anything that you can do to give you a little zap to any of those things that will, I don't want to put on something that's going to keep me awake all night either.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm so glad you stayed awake to join us. I'm so glad. So how long have you been using the X39 so far?
I just started about 3 weeks ago.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So that may eventually do it. But again, if you want to try to pause it to go, okay, a couple of different thoughts. Were you tired before? Like, was that a normal part of where you would come home from work and be tired before you started the X39? Was that a normal reaction for you?
I think that's just, like I said, I'm 76 and I get tired.
Well, you don't look 76. You look fantastic. You don't look older than dirt. You're beautiful. You're so funny. So eventually, the X39 would probably help with your energy, but the energy enhancer again is a great add for that to see. So a lot of times when I see people who, after a couple of months of using the X39, they're still looking for an extra, bump in their energy. The energy enhancer is a great one for that. And again, these points right here are really great to feel it. So like if I have a day that I know, like on Thursdays, my Thursdays are always a really long day. I actually wear 2 sets of energy enhancer, and one of those spots that I wear are right here. I have a lot of truck drivers that will wear energy enhancer on their wrists like that to help them stay awake. But yeah, just help. And it's going to give you that sustained. It doesn't feel like anything like caffeine or anything like that. It's just very stable, sustained energy. So, because you can even just
when would you put that on? First thing in the morning?
Yeah.
Will it sustain you the whole day?
Yeah, it'll sustain you the whole day. Yes. Okay. Vicki, you have an extra comment?
Yes. Have you tried the Cellular yet, Miss Judy?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love it. Only problem is I have IBS and it's got magnesium citrate, which does not help. It makes you go to the bathroom even more. If it was magnesium glycinate, it doesn't do that, but that's not what you have in there. I'm still taking it, but I am dealing with the extra flow that's already too much anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully you're going to see the gut is GHK copper peptide very much helps with the gut. And so hopefully over, use, I've had several people who their gut issues just, finally cleared up. So, yeah,
Well, if that
but definitely
happens,
then.
man, I will be singing from the top of the mountain. And I
Absolutely.
can't sing.
Yeah. Well, we'll all sing with you. It'll all be good. We'll be so glad that will be relieved for you, for sure.
Oh,
Yes.
that would be a miracle, believe me. I mean, too much stress over the last so many years, and then that manifested itself, and it's just like, and it takes so much out of you,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's really draining, physically draining. So, and I have a decent amount of energy, but the last year has been really tough. And then I found out I was low on blah, 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 blah. Oh, what did they call that? Creatinine. So I started taking more protein. That helped. And I know you've got something or other monohydrate in there,
Yeah, the
which does
creatine.
protein. Yeah, that helps. So that's a positive. And up until this last year, I've had energy abounding, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah, I
turned the
would say
magic 75 and went.
yes, well, I would say add the energy enhancer and see
Yeah.
see if that helps you. And of course, keep reaching out because we can always, there's always more suggestions of things to try and ways to help our bodies detoxify. So there's a lot of times there's some things like that might be needed, but I'd try the energy enhancer. So yes, so thank you so much, everyone, for
Thank you.
being here tonight. We are
Thank
just so
you.
thankful, yes, that you decided to take 30 minutes out of your schedule and join us tonight. We will be back. That's what I was going to tell you, Judy. So, Thursday night, Vicki and I are going to be talking about the energy enhancer. So a lot of times we do a testimonial call, but we're going to do 30 minutes over the energy enhancer. So if you want to kind of do a deeper dive into the science behind the energy enhancer, we will do that on Thursday night. That will be at 7 Central Standard Time. zoomnikki.com. And you may have clicked another link, which is fine, but if you just type in zoomnikki.com, that will come up. So that will be Thursday. We're always here Wednesdays as well at 7 Central Standard Time. On Wednesdays, it's an hour-long call. We go over all the different technologies, and then we also go over the business opportunities. So, and then I will be back again on Monday doing this again. So I am here for you to invite people to learn about the technology, to ask questions. If you haven't gotten started yet, please get back to the person who invited you to the call tonight. Tell them that you're ready to get started. The sooner down the road you start, the sooner we're all going to get to hear the different amazing things that are happening to you. So, with that, thank you for joining us. And just know that we pray blessing over each and every one of you. Good night, everyone. Have a great night.
Good night. Thank you.
God bless.
You're welcome.
God bless.
God bless.